Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Curious Owlbear, and I'm continuing my series where I give you ideas for random encounters that you can use in your world. As usual, feel free to adapt any of the random encounters in this video to suit your tastes. We're journeying through the forest once again, so let's see what the adventurers run into today. The group makes good time as they travel along a trodden dirt path amid thick shrubbery and wide tree trunks. They come to a stream, one of many that flow out of the mountains to the north. But as they step over the water, a keen eye in the group spots a metallic glimmer amid the pebbles on the bottom of the stream. Inspecting the fragment, they uncover a tiny piece of gold, perhaps the size of a grain of rice. This tiny piece is just a small amount of the gold that your group could stop to pan for. It will take some time, but their efforts may be rewarded. As DM, it will be up to you to decide which skills are used in panning for gold, how long it will take, and how much your party could profit. Don't forget to consider how much the gold weighs when deciding how much gold there is in the stream. As the group takes turns panning for gold, one of the members on lookout spots another interesting sight. They see a beautiful white horse maneuvering through the underbrush as it stops to graze. The group can't get a good look at the creature without getting closer. As they inch closer, they notice this is not a horse at all. It has massive white feathered wings as well as feathered hooves. Unfortunately, the group may startle the creature, causing the Pegasus to take flight in fear. Even if the group is able to get close enough to attempt to be friendly with the creature, it is unlikely that the beast will stick around long enough to be more than a beautiful sight. In D&D, Pegasi are good creatures, though they are chaotic in nature. They may pretend to be friendly to the group in an effort to get some food or protection for a time, but they will likely not stick around for a long period. The group is finally satisfied with their collection of raw gold from the stream, and they head further down the path. After a long day of traveling, they begin to search for an area to make camp. The sunlight wanes, turning to dusk. As the group searches for a good place to make camp, they notice the sounds of a child giggling. They continue through the underbrush, coming to a clearing, where they see the figure of a child playing in the front yard of an abandoned shack. The child's skin is a sickly green color, which would sound the alarm bells for veteran D&D players who might think this is a ghost. However, the child does not seem to react at all when approached. No matter what the players do, the child will simply continue playing until it disappears before dawn. The wizard or sorcerer of the group may understand that this child is a permanent illusion. The spell must have been cast several times in this place in order for the illusion to become permanent. It's up to you as the DM to decide exactly what happened at the abandoned shack, but in my world this was the residence of an elderly adventurer who lost her child many years prior. In her twilight years, the adventurer had cast this illusion every night in remembrance, and, though the adventurer is long gone, the child's illusion remains. The group makes their way inside the abandoned shack, finding a few pieces of rotting wooden furniture. The whole place is covered in a thick layer of dust, and cobwebs populate the corners of the room. They search the shack, finding some old belongings of the adventurer, and if they investigate thoroughly enough, they will find the hidden drawer in the rotting desk. Inside, the group locates an old, fading, handwritten map. It appears to show this location with a route to a nearby waterfall, which is marked with an X. Many of the group members have probably heard stories about ancient maps that lead to vast hoards of wealth, and they will know they have clearly located a treasure map. They rest for the evening, vowing to follow the map in the early morning. The sun rises slowly into the early morning sky, and the group sets out on another day of adventuring. Their breath mists in front of them as they trudge into the cold forest. After a short time, they begin to hear rushing water ahead. Looking up the cliffside, they see small dancing lights arranged in a line. The group starts their climb, treading heavily up the steep, rocky path toward the location that appears to be marked on the map. The path becomes slippery with the spray from the waterfall, and suddenly the dancing lights are directly in front of the group. They blink and sway in a rhythmic motion, coaxing the group into following. If any members of the group do follow the will-o-wisps, they will lead the players to a steep drop that is hidden by the water from the falls. These will-o-wisps are the souls of people who died violently as they attempted to follow the dangerous path. Perhaps the adventurer was even able to take a few of them out herself before succumbing to her old age. The group successfully avoids the will-o-wisps on their way to the treasure, but upon arriving at the location that is marked on the map, they find a sturdy wooden chest that appears to stand open and empty. They're obviously disappointed as they begin searching the area for any treasure that may have been left behind. The group's rogue, who is an expert in investigating for treasure, locates the secret door to a hidden chamber behind the waterfall. However, they may not be able to figure out that the door is trapped. A large boulder is poised to fall on the first member of the group to enter the chamber. It's also up to you as the DM to decide exactly what treasure awaits your group on the inside of this stash, hidden by a retired adventurer. After taking whatever they can carry from the hidden stash, the group continues on their journey. They weave between the trees until they find a clearing filled with red berry bushes. There are hundreds of the plants stretching out before the group. The berries look incredibly ripe and delicious, and there could be enough fruit here to keep the party fed for several days. However, if the group doesn't pass their nature check, they may find out the hard way that these berries are poisonous, causing nausea, vomiting, and preventing the group from taking a long rest. The berries might also give the players the poisoned condition until they fully recover. The group is exhausted from their lack of sleep, but they press on as any self-respecting adventurer would. Today, they come upon a natural cave formation that could provide the group with excellent shelter if they find it to be uninhabited. Unfortunately for the group, this cave is the home of a green hag, her alchemical potions wafting potent stenches through the cave. The green hag is a very interesting and capable low-level monster. It has the ability to mimic the sounds of another creature and change their appearance through illusion magic. They're great for introducing your group to enemy spellcasters, and they can provide an opportunity for you as the DM to create a unique environment specific to this green hag. If the group is able to defeat her, they may be able to find some useful resources in her cavern. The uproar around the cavern caused by the fight with the green hag has drawn some unwanted attention. The group has cleaned up a bit and is settling down for a long winter's rest when there is a gruesome call from the tree line surrounding the cavern. A forest troll has tracked the group's scent, and wanting for a meal in a nice cave, the troll attacks the group. Now, the troll is a very prevalent monster in D&D, but for good reason. Though they're not very intelligent, these creatures have good perception and stealth. Their regenerative capabilities make them extremely deadly foes. I recommend this monster for new groups especially, since veteran players will often know the troll's weakness, their aversion to fire. If the troll takes enough fire damage each round, it will not be able to regain health points as it usually would. With the green hag and troll defeated, the group finally takes a long rest. Their travels the next day bring them to a small military outpost with about a dozen soldiers. The soldiers are welcoming enough, allowing the group to enter and rest there for a small fee. As the party eats dinner and talks with the soldiers around the campfire, the group will realize that the soldiers could use some help. There's a small legion of hobgoblins that have been sighted snooping around the camp at night. The soldiers think they're likely out for food, but they could also be scouting the camp. The group may be hired to deal with this hobgoblin threat, and if they take the job, they will be faced with a small group of hobgoblins led by a Hobgoblin Warlord. The Warlord grants hobgoblins a little more diversity with their ability to affect another hobgoblin's attack roll or saving throw. Plus, the Warlord's shield bash and martial advantage makes them a very difficult melee foe. And that brings us to the end of our third set of random encounters for forests. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and let me know what type of environment you want to see next. Until next time, stay curious, adventurers.